you could be granted 3 wishes, what would they be? And that reminds me of a little boy whose only wish was that his drunken father would give up drinking and come home to play with him, until one day he was walking home from school with a new friend, and they took a new way so they could walk together a little longer. And that somehow was a very comforting experience for the little boy, and he decided to let go of the old way of walking home, because he'd found a new way that made him feel more comfortable. And that reminds me of an enchanting story of a young princess a long time ago in a faraway land who couldn't go to sleep until one day she went for a walk and suddenly found herself climbing a beautiful mountain track as a different animal. I'm not sure if it was a frog or a peacock or a butterfly ascending the track, and now and then resting for a moment on a leaf of a majestic gum tree, breathing deeply in a summer breeze, or flitting to a fragrant wild waterflower, and floating into a euphoric feeling of comfort on a hidden pond in the hillside, surrounded by the songs of beautiful lyrebirds. And as you listen to the story, perhaps you prefer to imagine yourself as a kite, glistening in the warm sun, and go into a dancing and soaring upward flight, just allowing yourself to float elegantly upwards to the top of the mountain, as if in a deep state of bliss. Or perhaps you'd like to be the sound of a kiss from a prince to a sleeping princess on the breeze, so you can be here and there and everywhere, just floating in a total state of euphoric comfort, wondering what it will feel like to reach the top and enjoy the view, how exhilarating it will feel if, like the princess, you can achieve whatever you want. And as the young princess continued to climb the beautiful mountain track, she noticed that she was feeling more and more relaxed, and her thoughts were floating freely, taking care of themselves, giving her a wonderful feeling. And as she listened to the songs of the birds, felt the warmth of the sun on her skin, breathed the fragrant, cool mountain air, and admired the beautiful blue sky and tall trees and colourful birds and butterflies and wildflowers. She knew it was time to let go. Let the body take care of itself for a while, like she did when she was a sleeping baby, without a care in the world. And you can feel like you're floating in space and time. And you can just ignore my voice, or let it float with you and take on the form of anything you like the wind, or the clouds, or the rain, or the birds, or your new bike, or your friends, or your teacher congratulating you, saying well done. And you can do whatever you like, or listen to anything you like. And as you listen to the story of the young princess, you may not be surprised that as she continued to climb further up the beautiful mountain track, closer and closer to reaching the top of the mountain, she noticed that she was feeling even more relaxed. A feeling in her body that reminded her of peaceful sleep. And as she admired the birds and the trees and the incredible view, felt the warm sun and the cool breeze, and took a deep breath, she suddenly realized she could relax and be where she wanted to be anytime she liked. And like the young princess, perhaps the sounds around you when you were very young can relax you so much, like a soothing voice, nurturing you, protecting you. And you know that everything is going to be all right. And as the young princess reached the top of the beautiful mountain, she paused to take another deep breath, releasing all remaining tension. And as she admired the view, time seemed to stop. And she was surprised by the breathtaking sight of a pristine lake, teeming with incredible wildlife, set in the mouth of a crater at the top of the mountain. And she learnt to pay no mind, pay no attention to things that can take care of themselves and disappear completely, and slept easily from that day on. And you might like to pay attention or paying no attention, or count down the very enjoyable sensations that you can feel when your feet are being soaked in warm water, or your toes stretched one by one from 10 down to 0 until they're all done, releasing endorphins into your bloodstream, creating a euphoric feeling of floating, creating waves of relaxation as the warmth of the water you can feel all around your heels and the soles of your feet and the base of your toes provides a subtle stimulation that can feel so wonderful. And like the beautiful princess, you can be aware of your own environment around you. And you can make use of the blue healing rays all around you. And allow those blue healing energies to flow into your body and your mind and create a beautiful temple of light in which to relax. And you can be aware of your environment around you. Remember, a beautiful room, and perhaps the rays of light filtering through the trees outside, drawing comfort with a beautiful clarity. Or imagine in a beautiful environment you feel a beautiful peacefulness. And now you can feel your body becoming so comfortable and loose and relaxed. And as you feel that peacefulness, you can feel that you are withdrawing the rays of your mind from all those external objects, gathering them together and focusing them on your body like a great beam of light, fully aware of your body, like a torchlight shining on your body. Allow body consciousness become aware of your body. Aware of the arms and the legs, the joints, the bones, the organs, and all the millions of little cells in your body. Every one alive with an intelligence of its own. And you can be very aware of your whole body. Feel your whole body so warm and relaxed and comfortable. Your whole body so warm with this awareness focused on it. Now, in your mind, you can relax and allow this room you're in to expand and become a great healing temple filled with the most glorious light. You can imagine rays of light flowing in through the stained glass windows, rays that contain special healing energies that can ease tension, release all toxins and stress, soothe the emotions, and heal all traumas, heal all sources of discomfort, and allow your body and your mind to be in complete harmony with nature. So, you can relax now in your temple, filled with healing light. And you can focus your awareness on your feet. Imagine the healing light directed to your feet, like a stream of healing energy flowing into your feet, and your toes and your foot soles and every little cell of your feet bathed in the stream of healing energy is alive with that healing energy. And you can feel from your toes to your ankles so warm and tingling with that healing light and energy flowing into them and relaxing your feet with a growing comfort as the healing energy is flowing in. And as you feel that warmth and healing energy flowing up into your calves are warm and soft, muscles relaxing. You can feel the healing energy flowing into your calves and your knees that can feel so pleasant, and upwards into your warming and relaxing thighs, with healing energy flowing into them. And now you can feel that healing warmth flowing up into your hips, so light and free. Your warm hips feel so good, with no tension or discomfort in your hip joints. Your hips relax as you can imagine the healing light filtering deep into your hips, saturating every little muscle and tissue and sinew there. Now allow that beautiful healing energy to flow up into your belly, making it smooth and soft. So smooth and relaxed. And now, as you take your awareness up into your chest, you can feel your whole rib cage become light and free. And feeling so warm inside as your healing energy flows in deep into the organs in your chest, into your heart, into your lungs, bathed in that healing light. Now you can feel your shoulders relaxing, and you can imagine that same healing energy percolating deeply, like the warmth of a hot bath, into all the layers of muscles in your shoulders and in your shoulder joints, becoming warmer, and it feels so good, with no tension in your shoulders. With such a pleasant warmth in your neck and in your shoulders. You can feel that warm glow flowing down now, like the rays of the sun, down into your upper arms, healing and soothing as it goes, and further down into the forearms, a warmth into your forearms and into your hands, your fingers, the back of the hands, growing until you feel your hands filled with a golden light. And as you continue to do that, you can take your awareness up to your head and notice how light and free your head is now, freed from tension. You can imagine the tension flowing out, flowing away, just as you comb your hair. You can comb it out. Smooth your tension away until it's all clear and calm and peaceful around your head, with such a beautiful clarity around your head. And with such a beautiful peacefulness spreading over your forehead now, so gentle, like a caress, the softest, gentle caress over your forehead and your temples and your eyelids, so light, and smoothing your cheeks, so soft. And contenting your mouth and your jaw, and your whole body completely relaxed, peaceful. And if you will, imagine yourself still in your great temple of light, with the golden sunlight streaming in through the stained glass windows. And imagine that the sunlight becomes tinted with a soft blue colour, the colour of sapphires or the infinite blue sky, blue living light all around you. And visualize this healing blue light like the blue of a great ray lamp, with its rays illumining your entire temple. The rays of your lamp, blue rays, all around you and flowing into you. And the blue healing light is flowing into you now, healing every little cell in your body. Imagine every little cell absorbing that blue healing light. How it is calming and soothing every organ in your body. and imagine your mind also tinted a fade blue. Your mind so peaceful, filled with tranquility and a healing, relaxing, calming blue light. And imagine a sea of blue light all around you, pacifying you. Imagine the blue light specially flowing into any part of your body which you feel needs extra healing energy. You can direct it there. Direct it to the part that needs special healing energy, and feel it pouring in, and affirm to yourself, blue healing energy is flowing into me now. Blue healing energy is flowing into me now, easing tension, releasing all impurities and stress, soothing the emotions and healing all traumas, healing all sources of discomfort, and allowing my body and my mind to be in complete harmony with nature. Blue healing energy is flowing into me now, strengthening and healing my body. And my mind is filled with peace. My body is filled with peace. I can relax in that sea of blue healing light. Blue healing light filters through every cell of my body, and now your body and mind can feel so refreshed, revitalized, relaxed, peaceful. And you can allow the blue healing light of your temple to fade out. And allow your temple to recede into the background. And you can feel that your whole body has been bathed in healing energies. As you become aware of your surroundings once again. Of your room and of the gardens outside. And listen to sounds around you. Exteriorize your mind. And when you feel ready, you can start moving your hands and your feet. And give a good stretch to wherever you feel you need it. And whenever you're ready, become aware of your environment once again.